You're tuned in to Tailgate Talk, where the grill is hot, the drinks are cold, and the sports stories never stop. Hosted by DB Cooper and Itty Bitty Ute, and produced by Hollywood. Grab a plate, pull up a chair, and let's get this tailgate started.
So anyways, he's back there taking a look, and then he pulls off his gloves and goes, "The doctor will be in soon."
Oh, you sly dog.
Awesome. Well, welcome on into the Tailgate Talk podcast where the food is cold and the drinks are hot. I'm DB Cooper. Alongside of me is Itty Bitty Ute. And on the ones and twos, we got Hollywood. Appreciate that. Before, I got to get the elephant in the room out of the way before we hop too far in. I know I'm going to get a lot of DB, how you're a Utah fan and you're wearing a Wyoming hat. I know I'm going to get that. That's the thing. I know that I'm going to get that, and I want to address that first, just before we get started. Is that all right with you two?
Mm-hmm.
By all means.
This is how I live life. If I myself, DB Cooper, walk into your home and my team beats your team, I have every right to wear your hat on my podcast. Is there any rebuttals to that live? Because I know there'll be plenty of rebuttals to that in the comments, I'm sure.
Well, and I don't even think it needs to be, I don't think there's anything wrong with it. I think it shows a level of respect. Because did you guys have a good time?
Oh,
Yeah, absolutely. Great time.
One of the best days.
Did they have a respectable tailgate?
Yeah.
And we'll
Then there's no reason we can't rock another team's gear, in my opinion.
Yeah. I'm with Cody. It is by far the best Mountain West campus, fans, atmosphere, tailgate lot. It's not even close. By far.
Let's hop into it. How'd the road trip start off, Itty Bitty?
Yeah.
Is that where we kind of want to start with this breakdown?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and to add to what you were saying, this is my little tradition. Thanks, Jamie. I got the Wyoming Cowboy. They did not have it in the bookstore, but they had it at the game. But yeah, it's going to the collection of helmets.
I like that, though. The helmet was clutch in the stadium. We thought all hope was lost. But got it last second.
Yeah.
Tell me about your guys' experience being there in that first half. Because I'll tell you, it was not pretty sitting at home watching it. And I can't imagine watching. I don't know if you guys got to see much of the New Mexico UCLA game Friday night, but watching that game Friday night and realizing that UCLA might be the jag of the season, and then sitting back and going, oh gosh, like maybe that win isn't as impressive, and then showing up at War Memorial and going 3-0 with a turnover. I don't know how many yellow flags thrown in the first half. Like that had to be brutal for you guys.
The beauty of it is our day started at 6 a.m. and the game started at 6 p.m. So we have 12 hours of timeline that we can go over before we even get to the first half and how we were feeling. That's the exciting part. We left Drew's house. Yeah, we left Itty Bitty's house 6 a.m.
So, yeah, DB drove up to my place. I'm in Layton in close to Ogden Canyon.
Why don't you just give them your address while you're at it?
Yeah. My social security, too, is... Anyways, so he stayed at my place, and we had chips and salsa. Me and Mrs. Itty Bitty were watching the show, and he comes in. We had some chips and salsa, having a good time. Anyways.
Can't believe what I saw.
Yeah. There's a lot going on that night. Anyways, let's just say Mrs. Itty Bitty really is planning on missing me the next day. And then, dude, what a cup, too, dude. Well, anyways, we have a timeline. Let's stick to it, okay?
This is an unbelievable cup, bro. I am so happy about the cup.
It's unbelievable.
I might be the world's biggest Wyoming fan after this weekend.
So 6:02, we get in the car. We're on the road. I was planning on taking the first shift. And when I got out to the car, I was like, I can't. DB, took over. And in fact,
even if he
drove the
wanted, he
entire
wasn't.
time.
I don't give up the wheel. That's the one thing you're going to learn about me, Hollywood. I don't give up the wheel, not on the road trips, unless it's like there's no other option. But the thing is even if I let my co-pilot take over for a leg, I'm not going to get any rest because I'm going to be stressing out anyways. So I might as well just be driving the whole time. That's how I look at it. We drove up to Little America, picked up Glass Half View, absolute the dog. Dog. Now, the reason that when he gets in the car, he gets in the Prius. 3 guys in a Prius. That's how we travel to these games.
Boys.
No other way to show up to the enemy territory than showing up in the Prius. Glass Half View, I have to apologize on everyone's behalf. He only had not as much space in the back of the Prius as he should have had because as we were loading the car, Itty Bitty decides to load the world's largest cooler in the back seat. He said, "I'm taking drinks in a cooler." I said, "That's a great idea." When he pulled out the cooler, I was astonished. I mean, we had enough drinks in this cooler. This cooler was it took up.
Hey, Eagle Scout right here, dude. Always be prepared. Well, here's my vision on it. I was like, it's gonna be hella windy. If we're gonna get stuck on I-80, we're gonna at least have drinks. Yeah, it's like putting sandbags in the truck, dude.
Yeah. Oh, we only maxed out 65 the whole time because it weighed us down so heavy. But hey, good thing we didn't have to worry about the winds.
I'm crying, dude.
I did post Itty Bitty's on Twitter for the world to see.
I was wondering what that was because the only thing I saw on Twitter was the apology video after.
We get to Laramie. Just skip right past.
Yeah. We take a whiz. DB does a quick video, and he scans it over, and I'm taking a whiz, and my small somehow made it to...
Whoa. You left out a crucial detail. I scanned it over to make sure, because I realized that I'm taking a video of not only me peeing, but also of Itty Bitty peeing. It's kind of funny. You could hear us peeing. And I think I scanned it over to check for any nip slips just down lower. And I also test over as well to make sure that you don't see yourself, because you can see yourself better than others can see you sometimes, you know?
So we're back in the car, and he posted it. Well, I did look it over, and I was like, oh, it looks good. I mean, no one's going to see that small thing, my third pinky. Oh, we get back in the car, and then texts just start coming in, and people commenting like, whoa, there's a lot to see here. And I think it was flashbacks, like, no shot, you just posted Itty Bitty's on Twitter. Sure enough, we look at it, and it's out there, dude. I don't know how we missed it, but hopefully it's in Mrs. Itty Bitty's spank bank.
I have it saved if anybody ever needs, but that was a good time. Just our updates. Other than that, pretty uneventful ride, which is kind of how you want it when you're driving to Laramie. No, we didn't see any wrecks. We didn't see anybody pulled over. We weren't in threat. No winds. So the cooler only did half of its job with providing us cold drinks. And pretty uneventful. Get into Laramie, and we're thinking we're going to Born in a Barn. We show up to Born in a Barn after we buy our hats at the bookstore.
Yeah, and let's talk about the bookstore first.
All right, go ahead.
So we get to the bookstore, planning on doing the hat shopping, the helmet shopping. We walk in, and it's like when someone walks in a bar and the record scratches and every single person just turns their head. It's exactly what happened. It was me and DB. Glass was already in there, but like everyone just looked at us, and DB's like, welcome to Laramie would be nice.
Right. That's what I'm thinking. I don't know if Laramie doesn't get a lot of visiting teams fans or what that was all about. But for whatever reason, pretty much all their fans, none of them were rude. We didn't get flipped off one time. We didn't get a F Utah once. We didn't. The most we would get is a Go Pokes.
You got no urine sandwich bags?
Nothing. Everyone was
pennies.
Nice enough, but no one was like out of their way welcoming. like welcome to Laramie, or like thanks for traveling up, or just like simple gestures that if you're the hometown fan, like, and you see visiting fans that made the trip, go out of your way to like tell them thanks for coming, because it's kind of cool.
So that's a great opportunity. So let's give us your ABCs of, if you're hosting a tailgate, you see someone from the opposing team come wandering through the tailgate. What's the protocol? What should you do for someone coming into your territory?
Yeah, and to clarify, just really quick, I do want to say this is not rivalry. When it's a rival fan base, all rules go out the window.
So tell us both situations.
The general.
I like this.
Well, go ahead with what you were going to answer with itty bitty.
Actually, curious to see this because the last like handful of basketball games, DB invites like 30 BYU fans to come party with us. So I'm kind of curious where you're going to go with this. But anyways, I think if you're a visiting fan and we're there at our Grateful Red tailgate, we got invited for a drink because that cooler could fit thousands of drinks and
probably a dead body.
Probably a dead body.
Yeah, I think the ABC, when you see a general fan, A, you say thanks for coming. B, you offer them food or drink or both. And C, you offer them a place to sit. Hey, come rest your legs, have a seat, watch a game, hang out at the tailgate.
And I agree with that, because I think sometimes people's mentality is, oh, I'm going to treat them like I'm on the field against them. And that is not the case at all. Like, you should be warm and inviting. They're coming into your area and have the stones to walk into a tailgate. Tailgate should be a place where you go and just have a good time. It should not be a hostile environment. The fan experience should have nothing to do with what happens on the field. And so it's always blown my mind when people treat fans from another team in a hostile way prior to a game. I just have never understood that.
And my only disagreement with that, again, is the rivalry thing. I don't think that there's a set rules of like you have to be nice or not, but some of the funnest times are going down in Provo and getting the bird and feeling like you are in truly like a hostile environment without like feeling like the threats of your life are on the line, but like people don't like you. Like, that's fun. And so if you, and I'm not saying that you have to be a dick to rival fans by any means, but if you want to be, I think it's kind of in fair play. And in some of my favorite memories at our tailgate and our tailgate spot, the way that it naturally goes to the stadium, people kind of feed through those trees that are just north of us, and then they funnel in between our tailgate lot and another building. And you know, back in the day, Old Man Swan would have a megaphone, and every Cougar fan that would just kind of get funneled into this parking lot, he would just go after them. And like, that was funny. Like it made it feel hostile, I'm sure, for these people. Some people got in his face. He never like got personal or shouted out threats or anything, but like sometimes people can get heated, and like that's fun and funny. Like that also has a place.
And I do agree with that, as long as, one, it doesn't get personal. Like, I'm fine if you give people a hard time about their team. Like, I'm going to bring up Max Hall with the BYU Cougars. We brought up the onside kick with Cody and the Cowboys. Don't get personal. Don't attack people individually. Just keep it within the rivalry. And I think you can still have that hostile effect without getting too personal. And I think a lot of people take it too far when they start to get personal with their attacks. And I think that's where it oversteps the line.
Yeah. And I look at like Texas Tech this week. I want to, meet some Texas Tech fans and be able to go down there when we go down there and have a point of contact to go tailgate. So if we could bring someone to the tailgate, get their number, treat them good, have a good time with them, and then go down
Speaking of, I got some text messages from shout out Stephanie Potter. She was at the West Virginia tailgate, sent us pictures and video of their tailgate, and said, hey, we had a great game today. looking forward because the next home game is going to be against the University of Utah. And so our reach is already out in West Virginia. And so looking forward to hopefully some Utah fans that make it back there, make sure that they're welcome and get to enjoy that tailgate. Cause it is, they from the looks of it, it looks like they do the tailgate real well in Mountaineer territory.
Yeah. I can't wait. I'll be there. So
Are you going to miss a game this year, itty bitty?
yeah, I'll miss a couple. Yeah, I'm not going to Baylor, not going to Kansas. I think that's it though.
Are you going to West Virginia?
Yeah.
I'll connect you.
Yeah.
They'll take care of you. No joke.
Let me know. Yeah, I'll be there. So
yeah, it would be absolutely corny to make it hostile for Texas Tech fans this weekend. Invite them in, ABC. Thank them for coming. Ask them if they traveled or if they're from Utah. But regardless, thank them for coming. B, offer them food. C, offer them a place to sit and enjoy the tailgate. Anything else with the bookstore that you wanted to cover?
How about their lack of inventory?
yeah,
Or
the
did
hat.
you lie?
No, the hat you wanted, it wasn't there.
Yeah.
The hat you got and the hat Glass got are pretty sick. I'm kind of kicking myself for not getting a hat, but
I noticed their hat selection. And we tried to call you. You gave us the hat that you wanted, and it wasn't there.
I said, get me that hat. And then I said, if that's not available, just get me one with the logo that you were going to get tattooed.
I did not see that part of the text. That's my fault.
Same.
That's right. I got the one that I sent you online and ordered it.
Yeah, it's a cool hat.
I noticed that they didn't have the Pistol Pete cowboy on any. I don't think any of the hats had the Pistol Pete. And then I got. It's also I don't know. Our bad on forgetting the hat.
Good.
I thought this. I actually was kind of impressed for Mountain West school. I thought the bookstore was actually. I've seen worse bookstores. I saw worse bookstores in the Pac-12 than what Laramie had. I thought it had a good. Like, if I was a Cowboy fan, good selection. Anything else on the bookstore?
No, I can't even remember what we did right after.
After we were planning on going to Born in a Barn. Now, we got there, and Born in a Barn sounded like a fun place, but we didn't know how many Utah fans were maybe going to be joining us for a little lunch sesh, and we got there 2 hours earlier to Born in a Barn. We got there 2 hours earlier than what we told everyone else. We told everyone 2. We got there at 12, and we asked for a reservation or to put our names down, whatever. And it was a 2-hour wait at that time, and which would have worked out perfect for us. Mm-hmm. But if anyone else was going to show up at 2, they were going to be screwed. So we're like, shoot, we kind of got to pivot here. I had a weird thing going on here that I also need to cover. It got stuck in my head. I don't know if it was just feeling like I'm in cowboy country or what, or if it was the name of the first place, Born in a Barn. And I told a lot of people we were going there, and it's a catchy name. But from there on out, every restaurant that I talked about people ended in barn. Like we ate at the Crowbar. I started telling people we ate at the Crowbar Barn. And then we had kind of our social hour at the Buckshot Bar. And it turned into every video I was talking about the Buckshot Barn. And everyone was correcting me, and I had no idea. But everything's just a barn up there, I feel like. Is that out of place?
Too many sprites, it sounds like.
Yeah. No,
Zero sprites.
People are correcting your spelling in all your messaging that day, so.
Yeah, well, they were I said barn. I said barn, and they were correcting it to bar, which is what it was. But everything in my mind was barn.
Yeah.
We spent way more than we should have in touch tunes at Buckshot. Go ahead.
I was going to say, it was the elevation that we weren't thinking straight.
Yeah. 0 sprites, Hollywood.
Yeah, 0.
Food was good at the Crowbar. Had pizza with fried egg on top. Do you remember what the fries were called? Those were. I think there's a huge gap between one.
Really?
Huge gap. I think these ones in Laramie were number 2, but I think the Stillwater ones, like, that's a Grand Canyon size gap for me. I would have those fries from Oklahoma State delivered to me. Those were unbelievable.
If you have any chance to get Stillwater, you have to go get those.
Unbelievable fries. Then we went to Buckshot, spent way more than we should have on Touch Tunes. I think my Touch Tunes, if you don't know what that is, it's just a jukebox that you pay enough money and you get credits. Then you can, from your phone, choose the next song on at the bar. And I, for whatever reason, in my mind, I thought we were going to be there for 5 hours. We were only going to be there for 2. But I did the max amount of credits for songs. I think I still have songs that I added for the next one, probably still playing a whole tonight, 24 plus hours later.
Did you get
Bangers.
a Utah man?
Had a couple of Utah mans. Issue, the speakers weren't quite loud enough. You could kind of hear it in the background, but especially Utah man. Every time I was just under my breath, turn up the speakers. I didn't want to be that guy, but I rather go a little under my breath. And me and the bartender made eye contact a couple times. She clearly couldn't do anything about the speakers situation.
And what's funny is he had the Utah man song "Come On," and then some Utah fans came in and we started doing the UTAH fight, just kind of overpowered the jukebox. Yeah. And so we're kind of like, all right, we'll just roll with it.
But I had it come on a second and a third time and no one even heard it.
Yeah. But shout out to our boys that we finally met there, Abel's and Big Z. Dogs.
Abel Lopez, Big Z, absolute dogs. We've known these guys for a minute on Twitter. Done some online dynasties with them. Finally got to meet them in person. Absolute homies.
Yeah, they're a good time. We got to get into the tailgate.
He's coming ASU though. He's going to stop by the tailgate for ASU. Big Z, that is. Well, I don't know if Abel tailgates. We got to get him up there. Cool guy. Shout out on the street. We saw Gabe Giggy came up to us, said itty bitty DB. Big old daps. Shout out Gabe Giggy. Saw you on the street. That was sick. Also, as we were walking into the stadium, saw Cameron with a K. He came up to us, said, boys, I'm a huge fan. So shout out to Cameron K. It was cool to chop it up with him. We saw him at Gamboa's tailgate. Shout out to the great Gamboa.
Legend.
Absolutely legend. Absolutely legend. Also, I also wanted to just shout out another Cowboy Joe that rode the horse into the stadium. He had the flag. If you go rewatch the game, like the intro, he almost loses the flag. It almost pulls him over. He powers through that shit, and then it planes out, and the flag with the horse was sick. I'm not gonna lie, but jumping forward, tailgate.
How was Bill's Mafia? Not so much.
Nothing.
I think there's more pre-game stuff like the tailgates they did with him, but yeah,
they had him. I finally found out where he was. I didn't even tell you anybody. It was the guy that looked like Elvis. They had him standing right in front of the band.
Oh, that was him?
He was. Yeah. He was just playing a fake guitar in front of the band the whole time.
Yeah, they had him on TV a couple of times.
Sure. Or was he over by the band when he was on TV? Because maybe they moved him. Okay, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I don't even know if the fans inside the stadium really even got hyped up for the Bills Mafia dude. It's kind of depressing.
Yeah. But we were walking around the tailgate lot. Really good venue. They had these massive smokers and Traegers on these trailers, and we were actually mic'd up. We're gonna have to clip a couple of videos from that, but it was a good time, man. They do it well there.
Solid tailgate scene. Not gonna blow you out of the water, but solid, like 2 long aisles of tailgates. A lot of RVs. Lots of RVs, lots of smokers on trailers, like Itty Bitty said. Flags flying. It's good. It's not Penn State, 110,000 plus people, but for what a 10,000 seat stadium is, very well done on the tailgate. People were nice at the tailgate. Got a couple score predictions, couple chopping it up, some peeps in that vid, so that'll be good. Got in the stadium, got our souvenir cups. It's a must. I'm not even saying this. This is the best souvenir cup I've ever gotten.
Yeah.
It's sick. So the design is sick, obviously. Pistol Pete's sick. You got Wyoming on the other side. So bright. I talked last episode how much I love their color scheme. So the color scheme's sick. But the sickest part, the lid, the hard lid. Most souvenir cups don't come with a lid.
No,
I'm
or
stoked
straw.
about the lid. Or a
Yeah.
straw. I'm hand washing this baby forever.
Yeah. And there is a big difference between Salt Lake elevation and Laramie. And we talked about it with Cody, but we were walking up to our seats. I know I'm not in tip-top shape, but man, I was dying just walking up to our seats. And they have these like big kind of round,
It's
little
like the stairs,
merry-go-round
staircase at
Provo has
River
them.
Stadium.
Yeah,
Yeah.
not as high.
So we were literally on the stairway to heaven because we were so damn up there. And dying. Your rib was dying. You were in pain. But we bought these cups and we made friends with one of the guys working there. And he's wearing a UNC hat. So we're kind of talking North Carolina ball with him. And you were like, hey, can we get refills? He's like, if you come find me, I got you. So we probably got like 6 refills from this dog. So
that's a key with getting the souvenir cups. You can always slide that in when you're at the stadium. Just one way or another, just be like, hey, like it depends on how you want to approach it. Depends on the person, obviously. Sometimes I go with just, hey, like if I come back and make sure it's you, are you gonna help it up with some refills? This time, I actually went a little bit more defensive and went. I assume that we're not doing free refills on this game. Is that right? And the dude was like, "Oh, if you come see me, I'll refill it for you." So he hooked it up heavy on the free refills. Little pro
he's a
tip.
tag.
Little pro tip. Absolute tag. Yeah.
Absolute tag.
We'll save that.
And we got absolutely lucky. The whole time the forecast was saying rain. It was a little bit windy before the game, but we did not get a single drop during the game. So very lucky.
Dry as Moses. Absolutely saved by no rain, which is good. I wasn't quite adequately prepared for that, for rain, but by the grace of the Almighty, we didn't have any. The Utah game. Hollywood kind of touched on it a little bit. First half.
Brutal start to the game.
Where was your mental state at?
I was struggling, to be honest with you, because I thought it didn't help that leading up to the game, that New Mexico UCLA game messed with my mind. Because half of my thought process was like, gosh, maybe we're not as good as I thought we were. Maybe UCLA is just that bad. And then they start off, can't kick a field goal. They got a ton of penalties. We coughed the ball up inside the 6-7 yard line. Like, it was just like we talked about. Like, Wyoming is hyped up and they have showed up for this game. And Utah has looked past them onto Texas Tech. And so my mind was a million different directions in that first half. Then it settled in a little bit more in the second half. And so, but yeah, rough start. But it's not how you start. It's how you finish, right?
That's right. And I think I was the same way with my initial reaction. But at halftime, we were looking at the stats, and we absolutely kicked their ass. And the only thing that we shot ourselves in the foot was penalties. And because of the penalties, that's why we were kicking field goals. And I do want to shout out Dylan Curtis. I think Dylan Curtis is the man. It wasn't like he was duck hooking him. I mean, he was barely missing. He did hit the bar. He did push one a little bit to the right, and then one got blocked, which I don't think that's necessarily his fault. But I think this dude is going to be a legend of a kicker.
He had a better weekend than Tennessee's kicker.
Yeah. Very true.
Not and we had salt in that wound.
We actually sat right below his parents, Dylan Curtis. Cool. And they were awesome.
Yeah. His dad's clearly like so proud of that his son's out there kicking, and I love it. I love shout out to old Tony. Man Dillzilla, Tony Curtis. That's the absolute dog right there.
Yeah, I almost had
what
like a tear in my eye watching him watch his son. It was actually really cool.
Yeah.
And so
I love it.
And he nailed the first one. First one was solid.
43-yarder.
Yeah. I'd rather him get it out that game than the next game or conference play. So I didn't mind it.
Yep. I did get the heart was thumping a little bit when our boy Jackson Benny, I thought he was running pick six when he got that, and then gets tripped up. But I thought I made a house call on that one. But
you know what's funny about that play is I thought that was more of a pass interference than the other two that we got called on earlier in the night.
The one where he just had his hand on him, that was brutal. I was screaming at the TV for that one because I did not see much.
My only thing on the interception, because I agreed with you, my eyes kind of went. I think it was Smith Snowden, maybe.
Yeah,
somebody kind of like from behind the receiver fell down, and it looked like it was going to be pass interference, but then it got picked off. I wondered if on the field level if it was just actually way higher over the receiver's head than what we realized from the heavens. The pearly gates.
Yeah, we were up there, dude. Yeah. Oh, we saw God himself, and he was shaking his head. You're not welcome any higher. You got to go down, my friend.
Yeah, their signage said 72-20, dude. We were up there like 95-78. Holy cow, we were up there. Holy cow! But it was a good angle.
So I've got a question for you. So in the past, we've usually had a solid running back that does most of the heavy lifting. Do you guys know how many rushers we had that had at least 60 yards rushing in that game?
Yeah, I'm going to go 4.
Yep. Rogers, Andrews, Parker, and Dampier.
I love that.
Yeah.
I also think we're going to be more balanced going into the conference play. We're not going to put kind of like we did last year with Mekhi Bernard and have him be our workhorse. Because I feel like by the time we got to Oklahoma State, we were gassed already. So I feel like, I think Parker only had 10 carries. He still had like 70 yards, 80 yards or something like that. So I'm excited.
10 carries for 80 yards.
There's a lot of tread on the tires for the running backs because you are just. And I practically I know Hunter Andrews listed as a tight end. I pretty much look at him as a running back as well. It's kind of those 3 running backs, quote unquote, and then we have some young guys that haven't even gotten in. So we got some tread on the tires, which is a good feeling.
Not only that, but how many? Do you guys know this stat? How many different receivers caught a pass from Devin? 10 receivers caught a pass from Dampier. That's crazy.
I think last week was 10 and the week before was 9. So
spread the ball around.
That's got to be tough from a from a defensive preparation. Who are you going to lock down? I mean, obviously, there's a couple that you're going to focus in on, but
I think we talked about that in our recap last week, or maybe it was the episode before, but I think it was the episode that was it. Yeah, the defensive coordinators going forward are just going to have a million numbers on their boards of like, this guy does this guy does that, and it's like, this guy plays defense, but when he does play offense, he's going to be doing this, and it's like schematic, and preparing for it is going to be a headache for everyone.
Yeah, I do want to back up a little bit and talk about the penalties, because when I'm in the crowd, of course I'm going to boo and get on the refs because that's your job as a fan. I do think we shot ourselves in the foot with penalties. There's probably like 1 or 2 that I disagreed with, but for the most part, there are some that are like, could have gone either way, and we just got called. We absolutely shot ourselves, and I was pretty upset with that first half. And I was talking to DB, and then we're kind of like sitting there looking at the stats on the scoreboard and say, man, we really did kick their ass in that first half in every statistic. And you said it best. I'll probably let you say it, but it's like, this is good. We don't want to go into next week just absolutely throttling these guys. We need stuff to almost bring us back down to earth a little bit because we're next to heaven right there.
Yeah.
We talked about that on last episode, right? You got to have some sort of reality check to sit down and focus. And I think that that 3-0 half is all the fuel that Witt needs to get the boys ready for Saturday.
I will say, if the penalties continue into Saturday, I don't know, I can't remember what we had against Cal Poly, but it was my halftime thoughts was it was very undisciplined and we had a lot of penalties by halftime. And then again, it showed up again this week. If it happens again this week against Texas Tech, this upcoming week against Texas Tech, I'll start being a little panicked about it, just a little bit. If it doesn't cost us anything, I'm not gonna worry about it, but I'm gonna be paying attention to it. That's all I'm saying.
I got your answer to our penalties last 3 games. So UCLA, we had 3 penalties for 15 yards.
Perfect game.
Cal Poly, we had 7 penalties for 75 yards. In Wyoming, we had 10 penalties for 100 yards.
Jeez.
100-yard penalty game.
Yeah.
Insane.
I'm gonna be paying. That's what I'm gonna be paying attention to this upcoming week against Texas Tech. It's gotta get sorted out. But again, I like it. I like having the dirty game. It was never stressful. By the time the fourth quarter started, we had it under wraps. It wasn't the one possession thing that I feared. The game was never truly stressful. And people also forget, like, we played close games in 08, against a shitty New Mexico team. We went down there and won by 3, 13-10. Urban Meyer teams always started slow in the first half and blew out. Almost all of their blowouts came in second half domination. Like, I'm not going to put stock into a first half of a football game. It clearly got sorted out. They got our asses chewed at halftime, and we immediately come out with a huge drive down the field, score a touchdown, get the ball back, do 17 plays or 19 plays and over 7 minutes for another touchdown drive. And it's like, I don't think there's much to truly worry about from this game.
Dude, that Dampier touchdown where he fumbled it. Yeah. I started hugging you. I didn't know what to do.
I can't get it out of my mind. DB. I can't get it out of my mind.
Such a great recovery.
I can't get it out of my mind, fellas. I can't stop.
The last time I saw that was in Rice Eccles in 2015 when Marcus Mariota came in. Remember, they snapped it over his head. He ran back, picked it up, threw to a guy. It's like a 6-yard gain. And we're like, there's your Heisman winner. And I'm not saying Dampier is going to win the Heisman, but he's that kind of level of a player to not panic, picks up the ball, guns a tutty.
95% of quarterbacks just fall on the ball. They just would fall on the ball in that situation, and the coach would say that's what you're supposed to do. Some percent that wouldn't fall on the ball would pick it up and just immediately scramble and just pick up as many yards as they can. Again, coach would probably be like, all right, you're good. This dude has like just the understanding and the nerves to not just pick it up, know he has time, turn around and find a receiver that then again, like, this is where it's crazy. If Larry Simmons is in the back of the end zone and there's not a defender within 20 yards of him, that still would have been an amazing play. Or maybe if it was chucked up and it stayed in the air for a while and a defender came over late and hit Larry, but he was open for most of it, like, that still would have been amazing. This dude sets his feet and throws an absolute laser to Larry Simmons right on the freaking sideline with a defender pretty much draped all over him. It wasn't like he was just wide open. It was, I'm telling you, that's one of the best plays I've ever seen.
It was like the over the corner, but under the safety throw. Like the corner jumped to try to block it, and then, the safety was draped all over him. It was an absolute
get it out of my mind. I cannot get it out of my mind.
He's unbelievable.
Incredible. I mean, that plays is what's going to stick for me. Like, when we went there in 08 and won, it was the Sean Smith interception. This is the Devin Dampier fumble and gun. That's going to stick with me about this game for a very long time.
Yeah, 240 yards passing. It's good to see him move the ball through the air. I was pretty pleased with that.
What was it, 240 still he threw for, and then we still ran for 311.
you got to wrap it up with covering the spread, dude. That's an all-time backdoor cover that you're ever going to have, especially live being there.
They're a great team.
So I had it at 22.5, and we were pitching the shutout to 5 minutes left in the game.
Yeah,
and they broke that 4th down run for a tutty.
We were sitting with the guy that had Wyoming 23.5, so he was cheering when the tutty happened.
Crazy. Yeah.
Utah fan or Wyoming fan?
He goes to Eastern Wyoming, so he's from Florida. Okay. I think he just was there to enjoy some football.
Yeah. And then I was pumped because I was like, hey, they're going to onside kick. So we're going to get the ball around the 45-yard line. And all we have to do, I mean, there's still, 4.5 minutes left? So I was feeling okay about it. I was definitely stressed. And then they kicked it deep. Went in the back of the end zone. And so I was like, we're going to get 2-3 first downs and it's over. So I'm tripping. I think there's a penalty that helped us out a little bit. Like an injury happened. Stop the clock. So like everything was kind of going and we're marching down. And man, we're just shoving it down their throats, dude. Whatever we wanted to do, we were doing it. And Dampier goes in motion. Hunter Andrews does his clap. Takes it, dude. That guard pulls. And we saw it. And I just went berserk. And I know BYU fans aren't happy with the running up the score, but they still needed to stop us.
The point spread was,
Yeah, the point spread. They still had 3 timeouts. It was just like, we're going to put this game away and not even like, we're not going to dick around with it, essentially. So,
2 things I want to cover real quick. First, Utah State is looking real good.
Yeah, your season win total might hit before September's even over. I don't know who they have.
No kidding. They've got McNeese next.
Okay, so
that should be 3-1 with 2 more to go for the rest of the season. So that one. 2, did you see where Utah ended up on the rankings AP poll today?
16,
Texas Tech, 17, BYU. Woo. Still on the outside looking in.
Still receiving votes.
Yep, most votes outside of the top 25.
I really would love to figure out when was the last team to go 3 weeks in a season without a loss and be the top team receiving votes all 3 weeks and not get in. I would love to know if that's ever happened.
I did see a stat today that Notre Dame's the first team since like the 80s to go 0-2 and still be ranked.
They dropped 16 spots though. They're just almost on the outside. But if I was a BYU fan, I'd be pissed too because I look at that and go, BYU should be ranked above Notre Dame.
Well,
no doubt about it.
All the AP poll is brand recognition. You got all these stupid AP poll voters. They don't watch the games. They don't know. That's why it would be depressing if the only achievement you've ever had as a program was that the AP poll gave you awarded you a national championship. That would be depressing because these AP poll voters and writers don't even really watch the game. All they do is they look and see which logos do I know, and they know our logo. They still think they're probably receiving votes for Yell when they see the BYU logo.
Yeah, and I also too think, and I've felt this way for a long time, I've always felt like BYU has hitched its wagon to Utah in the fact that they've always been our rival. So when Utah went undefeated in 2004, started getting recognition, busted the BCS, did it again in 2008. I always feel like BYU, their fan base always thought by association they should get that same recognition. Even though they've not accomplished those same types of things. And that's always baffled me because to me, they don't have enough to go and show that type of background and work and say, hey, this season and this season, this is why we should get that recognition. I think a lot of that is based on the relationship with Utah. Am I wrong in that thought
No, I don't think anything that you said is wrong. I just think it's like, I don't think it's shocking. I think it's like natural. That's a natural person to do, because I look at our conversation with Cody, and that was my exact thoughts when he was like saying the Wyoming fan base felt gypped when Utah moved on. And Wyoming didn't, because they felt like they were equal, and just because we were connected via conference. Because everything else that you look at with the two programs, there's nothing that remotely resembles Wyoming football. So I don't think it's unique to BYU, is what I'm trying to say.
Maybe I just take it a little personally because of the rivalry.
You know what I mean? Yeah. And you have family members that are like, you hear it a lot too.
Yeah.
Thanks for tuning in to the Tailgate Talk podcast. Once again, beautiful episode. Excited about this upcoming week against Texas Tech. Be a friend, tell a friend, like the video, share the video, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Go Utes.
Well, love you all.
That's it for this episode of Tailgate Talk, hosted by DB Cooper and Itty Bitty Ute. Produced by Hollywood. Don't forget to subscribe, leave a review, and share with your tailgate crew. Join us next time for more sports talk, food, and fun. Until next time, keep the grill hot and the stories hotter.